Hello, guys.
Hello. Hello. Welcome.
Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Happy New Year's, happy Thanksgiving,
We've been live since the new year.
I'm just saying. Happy everything.
Happy everything, apparently, guys.
Just trying to figure things out right now. Hello.
Oh, that's not cool.
It's not Ryan, by the way. Everybody knows it's Sienna. Hi, Sienna. We're just trying to get everything situated right now.
I think I'm good. I had to, apparently I do not, I should totally wear my glasses every live.
Yes.
Because, yeah, I can't see anything anymore. I'm aging, apparently, guys. I'm aging. And pink waving. Is that what that says?
And hello.
Hello.
So get away from me. Is the topic. So how was everybody's week? How was everybody's weekend?
Has anybody failed at any of their New Year's resolutions?
We have not.
We have not-ish. We definitely tried a specific diet that we were really looking forward to, and I ended up very sick from eating so much meat that we actually kind of went off of it. But we're still eating healthy. We're still working out. We're still doing all the things we're doing.
We were on a red meat diet.
Yeah.
Only red meat and eggs.
We got through what, 4 days? 5 days?
I got through 5 days. You got through 4.
Why? I got through as much as you did.
No, you stopped eating eggs altogether.
I don't remember that.
It's because you were starting to get sick of. She would even get sick of the smell of.
Guys, we made the decision that we were going to switch our diet at the grocery store.
Yeah.
So, there's that.
It was.
But we didn't pick up any extra snacks. So that's
it was
good.
just. It wasn't hard for me, but it was getting upsetting to me. Because if Cass smelt red meat, looked at the red meat, she was getting sick.
Yeah, it wasn't well. Sam says it was good. Went back to hair school this week. Did one of my first updos. Oh, that's exciting. And how was that?
Are you able to do an updo on me?
There's not much that she gets to work with, so I'm going to say probably not. Love you and all. But you already have an updo.
I think I'm sexy.
Okay.
I think I'm sexy.
You can think whatever you would like.
I think I have a lot of hair. We do have a goal, guys.
Hello, Brandy.
We would like to get 10 shares, 10 likes, and 25 tags in this video, if we can.
Sam says it went really well. Used my new
tools.
I can't read it.
She is so
blind. 1
blind,
second, guys. He's zooming in again. You're saying I'm blind, but yet you can barely read it too. Use my new, I think that's supposed to say hair tools that Santa brought. Was really happy with it. Well, that's good.
Can you see that?
Yes, I can see it now, okay?
Guys, if you saw the screen behind us, or in front of us,
here, I'm going to take a picture so I can post it later.
Wow. You should definitely go get your eyes checked.
Oh, I know. I should.
It's
I gotta find a new eye doctor. Guys, if you know any good eye doctors, I know they have a fancy actual name, but if you know any good eye doctors, let me know, because somebody needs to get their eyes checked.
yeah,
And
think
it's not Bradley.
like it's like I'm sitting on the words.
Okay, get over yourself. Optometrist. Exactly, Sam. I was getting there.
So we had an eventful week. Started our diet, started another diet. We're now on a low carb carnivore diet type deal, eating a lot of meat, not just
I feel like we're just eating normal meat now.
yeah, we're not just eating red meat. We're now into like
chicken and
turkey.
Guys, we made a turkey soup at Christmas time after we made our turkey. We're still eating it. We did bottle it and freeze it, but like every now and again, that turkey soup still hits that spot.
Still hits.
It still hits.
We have
10 out of 10 recommend.
We are completely with our goals. We are down weight, both of us. The other people who are doing it with us are also down weight. So good job, guys. Keep it up. But we did a photo shoot today.
You'll see those soon.
See those soon. Yeah, we did a photo shoot, and that was the photo shoot was for our next launch of color.
Yes, we have a new color launching. We are not going to tell anybody what color it is just yet. You guys will find out next week.
Yeah, we're not wearing it either.
No, we are not wearing it. They've already seen these colors.
And also, just an update with the ball cap, we might be delaying that.
It might be delayed. We are going to try our best to still aim for March. But we're having some issues trying to find what we're looking for, so.
We did get a couple samples in. I am going to get them in a couple people's hands just to see what they think. But we're both on the not overly liking it side.
Yeah.
So,
there's that.
Yeah.
So let's get into our topic tonight. I think they've heard enough about us and how our week's been going.
Completely.
So, what is our topic tonight?
Get away from me!
Okay. Should I leave now?
Oh, please. And that's what it's about, guys. Can you work
with your significant other or be with your significant other 24/7 like we are?
I know we all just did it during COVID. Well, some of us did. Some of us couldn't do it fully during COVID, but we all did a form of being together for
like 24/7.
24/7.
Yeah.
But since COVID, we are still
pretty much together 24.
Brandy says no.
Tammy says no.
Here come the nopes.
Brian, that's sad. How is it sad?
So we're still 24/7. Oh my God, I only see mine 2 days, and that's too much. That says Brandy. But like we are still 24/7.
It's not, obviously it's not because like we want to be all the time. It's just we both work from home, so we both work in the same office all day. We both live, obviously we live together, and then on top of that with the business, everything is just kind of together now.
So can you work is pretty well. Our thing is, can you work?
Could you work with your significant other, I think is the question he is trying to ask.
I think so. Like, I'm not saying 24/7, but could you do it?
If you don't already, which assuming some of you have, like, don't, could you work with your significant other? Could you even, like, just work in the same building as them? Like, would that be too difficult? Like, do you guys actually need all that space?
For us, I think it's, yeah, we can do it. Hands down. Uh, we enjoy being in the same
Room.
hell. I think in the last 3 years, the furthest we've been away from each other is
Couple hours. I don't know.
I don't even know. Yeah, going golfing.
Yeah.
That's about, and that's the furthest we've. And we're like when we're in the same area, we're 10 feet away from each other. That's about it. 20 feet.
Pretty much. Sam says, I've never worked with a significant other, a crush maybe, but I have never in the past and don't have a significant other right now. So I'm not really helpful with this topic, lol. Yep, after 30 years, I need my space. Ryan says we love the nopes.
For us, it's we enjoy it. We don't mind it.
Honestly, like if you come down to it, like when we started our relationship, it was back in 2019. So 6 months into our relationship, COVID hit. So a lot of our beginning of our relationship came down to us being together 24/7 because we didn't really have a choice. And we just kind of built on that and built a relationship kind of around being together and enjoying being around each other.
Yeah, and like I can't imagine not working around you now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think if we, let's say we hit this company off huge, which I pray to Jesus that we do, and we build like a building or buy a building, like I don't think like your office would have to be right next to mine or in mine or
they'd be close enough together that like we could kind of see each other, I guess, or at least smell each other.
Hell, I'll just go in your office and fart and walk away.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
It's true love.
But yeah, no, like for the most part, like our relationship had been based kind of around us being together 24/7.
Yeah.
So I think in a way we were kind of made for it. It's just how it worked for us. Now, like there's been times where like he's had to go to the office and things like that, where it's fine. Like it's nice to have that day without him sometimes, but like it doesn't really bother me either way. Like it's not an inconvenience to me that he's around, right?
How many text messages would I get those days that I was at the office?
Not very many sometimes. Sometimes you would, sometimes you wouldn't, depending on how many questions I had for you that day.
Also depended on if it was snowing.
That would be the only thing was, yeah, the snow.
There was one day I was in the office and I got, oh my God, it's snowing. How is it? Is it snowing there? Yes. Oh my God, the snow is heavy.
Mm.
And then I started to get pictures of snowblowers.
Yep.
And when I came home from work that day, I wasn't allowed to come inside because we went and bought a snowblower.
Yep.
So that's how this works.
I bought a snowblower because I hurt my arm the day before and I was not doing it again.
I cannot go to the office anymore due to if I do,
I'm gonna purchase something.
We're gonna purchase something.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
It's not happening. No,
that's not how it works.
Not doing it anymore. Not
but yeah,
one bit.
no, for the most part, like we do well already when it comes to just being together, like our relationship and stuff. So working together was a little bit easier with starting the company. But with that being said, there's a lot of problems we have to deal with.
Is there?
Normally, like, especially with starting the business, there was a lot of problems that would arise. We work very differently, completely differently. Remember, guys, military. So his way of working is very military-like.
OCD'd.
Where mine is completely different. And then on top of that, he has ADHD. So that's a whole nother thing that I'll let you get into.
Yeah, I would say mine is more very OCD, very organized on that side.
At times.
It might not look it, but
his mailbox is organized. Everything he needs to do is not.
Not true. Not true. because of my ADHD, I have to have like three things going at once. Like it's constant. There's not just like look at one thing at one time. I need to have like music playing in the background, a YouTube video over here, or something else like a video playing here, and I can like focus on work.
He focuses much better when he has more than one thing to focus on. I know it doesn't really make much sense to a lot of people. Like in my brain, when I first seen the way he worked, it would drive me insane because I get very overstimulated very, very quickly. And I'm very much of a like more of a one side thing. Like I see what's in front of me and that's about it. So like for him, he had a bunch of things playing at once, and especially when something was like actually like not through a headphone. So like it'd be through the computer speakers and I would be hearing it too, and it would drive me absolutely crazy.
So now we've learned I have two headphones.
Literally, he wears like his AirPod in one, and then he'll have a headphone like these kind of thing on the other ear. So he's listening to two different things at the same time.
Plus doing company work or other work, but that's what makes me focus.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like I said, I'm OCD'd. So you put the problem in front of me, I'm going to give you step 1 through 9 of how to fix said problem.
Sienna says, how does that work? Honestly, it's just the way his brain works.
But like I will kind of come up with a solution. She, on the other hand, looks at the problem and only concentrates on the problem, where I concentrate more on the what's beyond the problem. What's the next problem coming?
The only downside with I find you like with the ADHD to like work and stuff is he'll start one thing and then moves on to another. And I'm very much I start one thing, I finish that thing, then I get on to the next and I finish that. So like my projects get done because I get one done at a time, where he's doing like 5 things at once, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh shoot, I gotta go back to this project and finish this one because it's due, and I shouldn't be prioritizing over this one. So it's very helpful at times, and then other times it's not, right?
I would say more of a balancing act.
Mm-hmm.
It's a balancing act with me and my brain, and it's like and we've learned it's very productive if I do it this way. If you make me focus just on one thing, I'm not going to do a good job.
And like in the case of us starting the business and getting little things done each day and work that needs to be done for the business each day, it comes down to it that like I had to accept how he worked and he had to accept how I worked for it to work. So like that's where kind of like starting a business together and being business owners on top of being in a relationship, it kind of comes down to the same point of like you have to problem solve like you would in a relationship, like you would at work, because you have to accept certain things and you can't change everything that person is doing, right?
Correct. And like it's hard on times because first, when we started this company, there would be a lot of arguments come up because I would juggle 3 things to her 1.
He'd work one way and I'd work another way.
Exactly. And was it us getting upset with each other that like she wasn't getting things out quick enough, or I was balancing more than one thing at a time? It could have been, but we've learned that now.
I think we got more frustrated with how the other person worked because we didn't do it the way
the other person
did it, right?
But now we've learned to. She does everything that's right now. Like She is the Monday through Friday. So tomorrow's Thursday. She will only tackle Thursday.
It comes down to it that I put everything more on paper where he does all the research for it. Because then he can juggle more than one thing at a time, which is the way he works, and I can focus on what and making sure that Thursday stuff is done on Thursday, right? So he gets like a week list of things he needs to do by the end of the week to complete. I have like daily lists that I have to complete.
And then I also am scheduling and planning for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. At one point we had a schedule for 5 months. How it was going to be, what it was going to be, what needed to come out at this time, that time, this time. But we then also realized that me scheduling that far out, things can change.
Very much so. So now we try to do it like roughly about a month in advance. We'll schedule out unless it's like a big date, like a big launch or something like that. That's something that will be planned. That could be planned 3 months ahead, 6 months ahead. And that's just kind of set in stone. But like everyday things could change. So we do it monthly now.
Yeah. The only thing, it was a big topic that we did talk about was why we changed it is because it wasn't that things were changing so drastically, is we couldn't keep up to my schedule.
Yeah.
And I'd have to blame it on me because I would say, okay, I need 3 posts here, 3 posts here, 3 posts here, 3 posts here. And it was just me and her.
Yeah.
And
on top of our actual lives as well, it was getting to be a little too much that we weren't able to keep up with that specific schedule, right? So it took time for us to learn and figure out things. Honestly, when it comes to starting a business with like your significant other, one thing you have to be able to do is learn how to respect the other person. I think that comes a lot to it. Like we had explained, like the way we work differently, we had to accept one another's way of working and be okay with it and figure out our way and our solutions to how to solve certain things and work with each other.
I'm going to say this without, I think, any dispute from you. If you're not in a secure, strong relationship, do not
start a small business with
Don't start a small business. Don't work with your significant other. Don't do anything with your significant other besides work on your relationship.
Yeah.
Because if you're not strong, and I think at the beginning of our company, it made us work.
Yeah.
On our relationship. Yeah. Because it was, I'm not saying it was hell, but it was difficult on times because 2 totally different people.
Yeah.
Where if I get up in the morning, and this was another big thing, I get up bright and early. But I also don't go to bed till all hours of night. Missy Moo over here can sleep in and doesn't stay up.
I love my sleep, guys. I love my sleep. Okay? And I need 8 hours of sleep to function.
So first, when we were launching this company, the extended hours that we were having to put in
was hard for me.
I was getting frustrated with Cass because I would be up, dark stupid, 6:30, 6 in the morning, starting work, plus my other job on top of that. I'd be doing 2 jobs as she'd be just rolling in at 9:30, 10 o'clock. She'd go till like 5, and then she'd be like, well, I guess I'm done for the day. And then like we had to have a heart-to-heart
and figure out
I come to Jesus moment.
Yeah, it comes down to it that like with starting the business, on top of like learning how to like fully respect one another, we had to learn how to communicate, because the communication was what was causing little arguments that weren't really needed. as long as the work was getting done for the most part. Like him getting upset, he would let that sit with him for days on day, like
I would
day in
let
and
it
day
fester.
out. Exactly. Which that was just getting him angrier each day instead of stating like, "Hey, Cass, da 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 da, this is day 2 of me getting up early and staying up late. Like, why aren't you?" And we figured out a way that worked for both of us to be able to continue to work.
Yeah, she can sleep in now, but she has to stay up late. No, I'm joking.
No, honestly, we I think we like kind of I don't even know what we did there. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it was more like I would I would work during the day. Um he pretty much goes in and out of work all the time. But like I would take a break in between like I'd take a break in between dinner time almost every day now. But then I also work throughout the night. Like I can sit there, we could be laying in bed watching a TV show and I'll sit there and I'll edit TikToks, I'll edit reels, I will schedule posts for the next day. Like there's so many things I can do straight from bed that I don't have to sit at a computer and do, right?
And I think that's what kind of saved us.
Hmm.
And it is to our next point is um conversation. Like you cannot argue
Hmm.
in a company. Like yes, you might have to fire somebody. You might have to have an argument.
But in our
Or
case, we were having like bad arguments, like to the like relationship arguments. It was coming into our relationship because of things that were going on in the business, and we had to learn how to separate those two.
yeah, and it got to the point that we it it more than came into our relationship. It was we had a day that it was, and I think we don't mind talking about it. We had a day where it was okay. I'm done.
Hmm.
She was done. I was done. This relationship was done because we weren't communicating. We were bottling up
Our
our
anger, our frustration, our
and
problems.
and like I'm not blaming it on family either side,
No.
mine or yours, but family wasn't helping at
Mhm.
all. So we were both, uh, I would say, almost eating that anger too,
Yeah.
and it just got to the point that we came to a bubbling point. We both did call it quits, and we were like, "Yep, it's it's either this relationship is done
Or
or."
the company is done. And the way we looked at it, we prioritized our relationship over a company. At that point, it just came down to the fact that we felt as if our relationship was a little bit more important.
Yeah, and then
But I think that like a day later, we were back at the company.
I would say
It wasn't very long.
we both had like a cry,
Yeah.
and it was almost supper time. We both had like a cry, and I sat in the office, and she sat in the
Bedroom.
bedroom, I think,
Hmm.
and we cooled down, and we had like I said earlier, a come to Jesus moment where we sat down and we said, okay, we can't do this anymore.
Hmm.
We have to talk like normal human beings. We can't,
Especially with the company.
yeah, we can't yell at each other. We can't blah blah blah
Hmm.
this. And it was more of okay. And now we don't yell. And I think starting this company helped our relationship.
Yeah, like our communication not only is good throughout like when it comes to working beside each other every single day, our communication has improved in the relationship like a lot to the point that like we ask each other like the simplest questions just cuz like some people might say like we're nosy, but it's more just like I just want to know. Like we're very open with what we're working on, or like if I have a question and be like, "Hey, have you done this yet?" And he says no, I'll be like, "Well, why not?" Instead of like bottling up my anger and being like, "Oh my god, he's not doing what he said he's doing, I'm simply asking him why not. And if he says, "Oh, well, like sorry, I had forgotten about it." Then I just go, "Okay." But I think it's come down to that we are not so high strung either like we were. Like we've learned to calm down and understand somebody else's point of view on things.
I also think I also want to say it. I think what the big thing was for us was one, we learned we work totally two different ways. We communicate two totally
Mm-hmm.
different ways. We're totally different people. That was the third thing. The fourth thing is she works on a totally different schedule
Mm-hmm.
than me. I'm a go, 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 go. She's a
Go,
okay,
go, go, rest,
go, go,
go,
go.
go, go. I work better when I have my rest. So if I'm only sleeping for 5 hours a night, my work life will not it will suffer. Where if I get my 8 hours of sleep, 7, 8 hours of sleep a night, I work so much better throughout the day and I'm more productive.
And like I found, and we've had to come back to, and I want to quit using this word, but the come to Jesus moment. We've had a couple since then where I've had to either she comes at me or I go at
Mhm.
her about, hey, like one of her, and it's one, and she knows it's one of your big downfalls is the communication
To get back to you.
to get back to me.
I'm so used to working on my own. I'm not used to working in like a team or anything like that. So I always forget that, like, yeah, even though I've done all of this stuff, I don't tell him that I've done this stuff. So he's now assuming it's not done because nothing has been said. Meanwhile, it's all actually been done. And then he gets upset because he's like, well, it's not done. And I'm like, but it is. And here's the proof.
Like, and it's bubbled into our own personal lives for certain things. Like, hey, did you email this person?
Mhm.
And like, yeah. And then like 5 days goes by, no communication, no
Mhm.
nothing. And I'm sitting there going, well, if that's either very rude on
Their end.
their end.
Or she didn't actually message them or something. And I'm like, dude, I did.
So like to me, it's one of those like, who did it?
Mhm.
Like, did you do it? Did I
Mhm.
do it? Like, come on, like, tell me who has did this.
And honestly, like every day is almost like a new struggle. Like not really a new struggle, but every day is a different day. So there's days where like he'll be having a bad day or I'm having a bad day, and unfortunately, the other one gets the draft of that. They get the little bit of that short like conversation or anything like that.
I'm gonna say this because we know another couple
Mhm.
that work just like us now. I think the strongest relationships
Can work together.
can work together.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying like we're really strong. We are, in my eyes, we are really strong. I'm saying the strongest relationships to come that I've ever seen in my life come out of working together.
Mhm.
If you can get up, go downstairs, have a coffee, and then start working at your company, at whatever, if you've got to drive and you're in the same vehicle together,
Mhm.
or like for us, we don't leave the house.
Mhm.
We
both
go
work
into
from
our
home.
office, which is the same office.
Mhm.
We're constantly sitting next to each other. We're pretty much holding each other's hands. Not really, but we're within 3 feet of each other all day. We finish work. We cook supper together. We watch TV together. We do everything together. If you can
Do all that.
do all that, you're the strongest couple
Yeah.
out there. And I think you'll love each other the most. And there's no breaking that back.
Now, question for you guys. Like, I'm assuming, and you can yell at me if I assumed wrong, but like, for the most part, can you work with your significant other, even if it's not like actual like work, like even when it comes to building something? Because I can say like that's somewhere where we struggle. We do not build furniture well together.
No.
Put together anything. We do not do that well. And I don't think it will ever happen. I don't like to read instructions.
I love to read instructions.
And I'm not going to change, and he's not going to change in that way. So we've come to the conclusion when it comes to like building things.
I build.
He builds, and
you watch TV.
I just pass you the parts. He goes, "Can I get part D?" And I bring it over to him. That's where our relationship, or I hold something up for you.
Yeah. With building.
When it comes to building, I am not the greatest team member there.
Oh, definitely not. You are a, well, this looks like it goes together.
Yeah.
Type of person. And like, not even close.
I'm like my dad for that.
So for me, it's a little harder that way.
Mm-hmm.
But we've learned that we can't build together.
Yeah.
But we can work together.
We can build a business together, but we can't build a couch together.
Yeah. But like, I also find that we've learned now that what makes us tick.
Mm-hmm.
What makes us upset with each other, what makes us and I find that we try to avoid making the other person
upset when they don't need to be
upset. And I find our communication is, I don't think there's a stronger couple out there to communicate, because we will literally talk about everything.
Like if something bothers me, I just bring it up. I just tell him. I go, like, that annoyed me. That was annoying, or whatever it was. Like, obviously, of course, just like any relationship, you don't like whine about every little thing somebody else does. Like you pick and choose your arguments, of course, but like when it comes to something, and like if it has bothered me for the more than like 5 or 10 minutes, then I'm going to say something just so that he is aware, so that he doesn't do that again, so it doesn't bother me again. Or if it bothered me, we figure out why it bothered me and how we can fix it for the next time.
Like, we're to the point now that, hey, I'm going for a shower.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm doing this. Hey, I'm doing this. We communicate about everything.
And like some people might say like that's kind of weird. Like your guys are in a relationship, you don't have to check in with one another every single step of the way. But I think it comes down with, we have to be able to communicate that way in our relationship so we can communicate that way with our company, so that there's no one's being left behind. Nobody's being left out.
Like, hey, like we're to the point now, if she's looking up something on the computer and I'm looking up something, we will literally tell each other, hey, I'm looking up this for this. Me the other day, hey, I'm looking up, because we're trying, if you guys want to sponsor us to get new cameras, we'll take some sponsorshipy. We're trying to look at getting actual new cameras.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, if you kind of want to send us money, no, I'm joking. I literally went on the thing and was like, hey, we're looking at this and blah, 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 blah. To the point that she didn't talk me out of getting a new camera. Just like, hey, we should look at this in like a couple months, because it might be cheaper, it might go on sale. And like, then she did her research on like, okay, which camera is better, and then sent it to me, told me to do more research, which I did more research, and the camera that I was originally looking at wouldn't have worked out for us. So it balances us out.
And yeah, I was
Completely.
gonna say that, like, with the way, like, he has ADHD, so his brain automatically works very different from mine. I actually have really bad anxiety most of the time, so my brain works definitely different as well. So we've just learned how to manage the two together in a way, like, and that's pretty much when it comes to communication and stuff. That's how we have to work for everything to run smoothly through the company. And I'm sure it's a big issue for a lot of people.
Yeah, and maybe one day we'll talk about running a company
Mhm.
with ADHD,
That'd be a good topic.
with anxiety.
Mhm.
Because I can tell you now, it is, for both of us, it is difficult.
It can be very difficult at times.
It's interesting at the best of times. Because we I
ADHD
I
moment,
think
guys.
12 things up here. She has 2 things going over here.
But see, that's not the truth.
No, but like that's how our brains are normally.
I have a bunch of things that I'm balancing. I prioritize one thing at a time. Where you try and prioritize 10 things at a time.
Yeah, and it's a thing.
Yeah. And it's definitely something we work through every day too. So if you're a business owner and you got ADHD or really bad anxiety like me, let us know how it works for you and how you get through each day running your company.
Now we got some more news.
What's our news?
We have started recording
Podcasts?
some podcasts.
We've started recording podcasts. Yes.
We are looking for guests. We are looking for possibly another co-host. Possibly a producer. We don't know. We know what we want, but we're not going to
just settle on anything.
Just settle on anybody or anything. So we have started recording. We're going to get a lot of these, I would say up to 10 recorded before we start launching them.
Yeah.
Now, we have decided on when we are going to
post our
podcast. So they're not going to be a live stream. They're going to be a podcast. And our podcasts are going to be every
Sunday. But that will not affect our lives. We will still be live every Wednesday as well. So we'll be live on Wednesdays and our podcast will go up on Sundays.
Now, our podcasts are going to be nothing about the company. And so everybody is clear about that. Our podcast, they might have some things to do with their company, but nothing. Like, we're not going to be talking business.
No, we'll be talking about anything else other than business. Things you would talk about around a campfire.
So it's one of our videos. It's our first video that's going to be going out here shortly due to it's our launching video. But we're not going to be talking about this. Company is a Wednesday conversation and it's going to be live.
Yep.
So if you guys want to ask us anything on a Wednesday, yeah, come ahead. And we'll answer anything on a Wednesday, but we're only going to be talking about our company on a Wednesday.
And all podcasts will be pre-recorded. So, but you can always comment and ask us questions. We'll answer them as well.
So,
I think that's all from us tonight.
That's our news.
That's our news. And I think we're going to go and curl up in bed because you're not feeling too well.
Yeah, I did this whole live feeling like a Mack truck has hit me.
Yeah, he's been very sore all day. I don't know if it's the weather or what's going on. And I think we're going to go and snuggle in bed. Which, I mean, like, I'll be on one side of the bed, he'll be on the other.
Yeah, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
And we'll talk to you guys all later.
So,
Bye.
Bye, Newfoundland and Labrador.